Hello, everyone. As the headline suggests, I discovered my wife cheating on me in 2019. I glanced through her phone because I had a gut feeling, and there was a man's name in her Snapchat that I didn't recognize. After reviewing the photos, I discovered that it was her ex-boyfriend with whom she'd been in a relationship for a year and a half. There is constant communication, but there is no flirtation. Keep in mind that I could only see the discussions that had been saved because the others had been erased. She changed his profile name to a random name to hide the fact that she was chatting to her ex. When I challenged her, she revealed it was her ex, and she had no idea why she was talking to him. She said it was an emotional affair and that they had never met. We battled over it for weeks after that, and I was never able to express myself fully, so it was brushed under the rug. We were engaged in 2020 and want to marry in 2021. I never suspected her of cheating or had a gut sense about anything, and everything seemed perfect. In 2022, she became pregnant and gave birth to our son. Fast forward to August 2023, and I had the same gut sensation. When I had time, I would check her phone, but I never discovered anything. A few weeks later, she called me Jack. My name is not Jack. I don't know anybody named Jack. She said she didn't know anyone named Jack and that I was insane. Due to conflicting work schedules and keeping up with our 1-year-old son, I didn't get a chance to check through her phone after that. I would periodically bring up the word, and she would become enraged. I decided one night to search through her computer, which is attached to her phone. It's been tied to her phone since the first several weeks of us communicating in 2015. And there was nothing. I then looked through the archived mails, which dated back to when she received the PC in late 2015. I went through the first few without finding anything. When I went to the next folder, about a month after we started dating, I discovered texts between her and her ex-boyfriend. She contacted him and they conversed until they moved to Snapchat in 2017. The archives didn't save every communication, but they did save a lot of them. I know this because I checked our messages and then the archived ones, and a number of them are missing. She said stuff like, "I miss you," "I was so happy with you," and "I was going to hold out for you" in her messages to her ex, but no flirting. Throughout this period, she was also speaking negatively about me to him. I checked over her Facebook activity record during this same snooping session. She erased a Jack from her Facebook friends list after she called me Jack, and we got into a massive quarrel. I searched him up and discovered he works at the same hospital as she does. When I challenged her about her ex, she just claimed she's sorry, and it's been so long she doesn't remember anything. I informed her that I needed answers. I gave it some time and sat her down to discuss. She rolled her eyes, laughed, and didn't take it seriously at first. I began to weep, something she had only seen me do 2 to 3 times in our 8 years together, and she became more concerned. She still said she didn't know and apologized. When I mentioned Jack, she stated she had never heard of him and thought I was insane. I then stated that he works at the same hospital as you and that you just erased him from your friends list after calling me by his name. She claims she recalls him now and that she added him for a coworker who thought he was cute when he serviced her computer, and that she must have removed him when she cleaned off her friends list. I labeled her a liar since he was the only one she erased. We battled over it for a few days until I decided I was done and gave her some space. I know she won't acknowledge anything until I have the proof, which she destroyed before I even suspected anything. I checked her Google search history, and she had Googled what to do after you cheat, and every website she visited recommended not to provide anything since it would enrage your spouse even more. I brought it up, and she stated it was so long ago that she doesn't remember anything, and she didn't even read the web pages. I'm looking for suggestions on how to go with this or what other people have done in similar situations. I adore her, but I know I will never trust her in the same way again, and I fear it will happen again. Backstory: I grew up in a single-parent household, spending most weekends with my father, and promised that I would not raise my children in the same manner. So there you have it. Now the next story. In 2017, my unfaithful ex-wife and I divorced. She left our marriage for her affair partner and never returned. After 40 years of no communication, she unexpectedly contacted me in 2021 and apologized for all she had put me through, saying she was in treatment for childhood trauma and that I was the best thing that ever happened to me. She launched a business the year we split, which I assisted her in starting, and when she contacted me in 2021, she showed me a snapshot of her business account, which had about $140,000 in it. Her business was clearly thriving, and I admit I felt a touch of jealousy. Because I was always good at investing, she asked me what she should do with the money. I told her I'd start by paying half of the divorce and legal bills she left me with because I paid for the entire divorce merely to get out of the unjust scenario. She was living with her AP by the time we split. Anyway, to my surprise, she quickly Venmo'd me the money for her part, as well as an extra $500 for taking care of our dog, whom she also abandoned. Over the course of a few days, she attempted to contact me again, and I informed her that while I was delighted she was getting the care she needed, she had broken everything wholly about our marriage and that she should cease contacting me. She complied, and I never heard from her again. I believe her relationship with her AP ended about that time, which is why I was hearing from her. Having said that, I ran into her in church, the same church where we met and began our relationship, with her new husband and kid. Her new spouse was her assistant principal. She appears to have gotten her life together and has everything sorted out. While I am glad she has turned her life around, I can't help but wonder why I wasn't enough to convince her to end her affair before it destroyed our marriage. Why didn't she simply return to her matrimonial home, as I so desperately desired at the time? She absolutely ruined my essence, and I've never been the same since. It still aches to remember what she did to me about 7 years ago. I'm upset because my unfaithful ex-wife ruined our marriage and refused to modify her ways until now. I'm upset that her new spouse may get a better version of her that I never did or will ever get. Seeing her with a kid, her first baby, that is not mine, reignited so many emotions for me. And knowing she is probably a doting wife to him, but didn't appreciate the marriage we had, really irritates me. Seeing her with her new spouse and life brought back memories of how I felt when my divorce was fresh almost 7 years ago. Thank you for listening to the story to the end, and if you like it, please support us with a like as well as subscribe to our channel. Write in the comments what you think about the story.